You didn't love him. You loved the story you told yourself about him. You loved the potential, the possibility, the future you imagined. You saw a version of him that could have existed if he just healed, if he just opened up, if he finally became the man you believed was buried somewhere underneath the damage. But the truth is, that version never showed up. Not consistently, not completely, and definitely not when you needed it most, because you weren't in love with who he was. You were in love with what he could have been, and that's the part that's hardest to admit. You poured your love into a fantasy. You gave your energy to a promise he never made. You stayed loyal to the hope that maybe eventually, one day, he'd wake up and finally choose you the way you had already chosen him. But what did he actually give you? Confusion, mixed signals, moments of affection followed by distance, trust issues that you blamed on his past, emotional walls you tried to climb with softness and patience. You excused red flags by calling them trauma. You said, he just doesn't know how to love. But deep down, you hoped you could teach him. And maybe you did try. You gave more than you had to give. You dimmed your standards. You rationalized emotional unavailability as independence. You called inconsistency passion. And when things got hard, you worked harder. But love isn't a project. It's not something you fix. And you were never meant to rescue someone who keeps refusing to grow. So why did you stay? Because part of you thought that if it worked, it would mean you were finally enough. That your love was strong enough to change him. That healing someone else would prove your own worth. But his growth was never your responsibility. And the pain you feel now? That's not because you lost him. It's because you're finally waking up from a story you wrote with hope, not facts. You were trauma bonded to the potential. You confused intensity for intimacy. And the anxiety you felt when he pulled away, you mistook that for chemistry. It wasn't love. It was longing. It was your nervous system repeating what it thought was normal and being emotionally hungry and calling it romance. But here's what you need to know. You weren't crazy. You weren't stupid. You weren't naive. You were just hopeful. And that hope made you stay longer than you should have. It made you write new chapters in a book that he never planned to finish. But now it's time to close it. Because real love doesn't live in potential. It lives in presence. It shows up clearly. It chooses you without games. And it doesn't make you beg for clarity or question your value. When the right love comes, you won't feel anxious. You'll feel calm. You won't chase it. It'll stay. You won't have to explain your worth. It will already be seen. Not because you proved yourself, but because you were finally loved in your wholeness. No story, no projection, just truth. And if this spoke to something in you, maybe a version of you you're still healing from, you're not alone. This space is for you, for your clarity, for your wholeness. So if you want more content that meets you right where you are, go ahead and subscribe. No pressure, just when you're ready. I'll be here when you need it.